C.com. Welcome back, everyone. 14 and a half after the hour. And today in Behind the Headlines, we revisit a story we've talked about on Tuesday and Wednesday on the show. And that's regarding the groups that are trying to legalize marijuana in the state of Ohio. And the group that is currently getting the most ink and the most play in the Ohio newspapers and TV stations is Responsible Ohio, a group that proposes a constitutional amendment that would legalize the growing of marijuana in just 10 sites statewide. This is being financed by 10 investors who would then become the growers. And the people behind Responsible Ohio have been short on some details about their amendment. But today they have released a list of the people who will be involved, the 10 investors involved. This would be your proposed Ohio constitutional marijuana growing cartel. First, we have Oscar Robertson. That's right, the Big O, Oscar Robertson, a NBA, or actually a basketball Hall of Fame member, because when it comes to cultivating fine quality marijuana, who would you trust more than a basketball player? Well, maybe a football player, because Frosty Rucker, a defensive end for the Arizona Cardinals who used to play for the Bengals and the Browns, the two teams in Ohio, is also one of the 10 marijuana cartel members. So it's just, we'll have yet to see whether a football player who grows marijuana produces a better product than a basketball player who grows marijuana. But let's not limit it to just the world of sports, since, of course, anybody who wants to grow marijuana is obviously going to be an expert worthy of constitutional monopoly protections. Nanette Lepore, a fashion designer, is involved in this business. Yes, a fashion designer. So at least the people who will be growing the marijuana will look proper as they're doing so. The uniforms will be spectacular, I can guarantee you. Another one of the constitutional monopolists is Rick Kirk. He's a Columbus area real estate developer. A real estate developer, yeah. So a guy who puts together subdivisions and building plans will be in charge of one of the 10 places growing all the marijuana in the state of Ohio. Let's move on. We've got another member of the constitutionally protected cartel, Frank Wood. He's the CEO of Secret Communications, a radio company turned venture capital firm. Oh, so a background in radio and a background in raising a bunch of money to buy out companies. That should be all the horticultural experience that one would need to produce fine quality cannabis for an entire state. Let's see, we've got Barbara Gould. Barbara Gould is a Cincinnati philanthropist. Cincinnati philanthropist does good things for humanity. Well, I suppose providing marijuana for the legal consumers in Ohio is philanthropy. It's good for humanity. Good for you, Barbara. Another person involved is Sir Alan Mooney, an investor and board member of the Ohio Council of Churches. The title Sir would at least imply to me that he is a knight of the British Empire as well. So, of course, somebody, with that much background in the United Kingdom should be granted a constitutional monopoly protection in the state of Ohio. And the Ohio Council of Churches, really? Who knew that the people in the church movement were so behind legalization of marijuana? Another member of the constitutional cartel, William Foster, an entrepreneur and philanthropist. More philanthropy. That's a good way to help humanity by becoming one of the 10 people allowed to grow marijuana, while nobody else will be allowed to. They will still remain criminals. We've got William Cheney Pruitt. Anybody who adds Cheney to their name as a nickname should be suspected immediately. He's the president and CEO of DMP Investments. They provide products and consulting services in consumer finance. All right, loans and banking and all that kind of stuff. Of course, this man should be allowed to grow marijuana for the state of Ohio. We also have John Humphrey. He's the chief financial officer of DMP Investments. So that's right, 1/5 of the constitutional monopoly in Ohio will be run by two guys from the same company, the same consumer finance company. And finally, Bobby George, a real estate developer. So we'll have two real estate developers, two professional athletes, 2 people from DMP Investments, 2 philanthropists, and 2 a real estate developer and a venture capital guy. Did you hear anybody in that list with any sort of experience remotely related to agriculture, horticulture, medicine, or hell, even recreational alcohol? Not a shred of experience in that list of 10. It's the latest example that shows you that money talks and bullshit walks. Let's hope that the other groups in Ohio can offer some competition to this responsible Ohio